Alrighty, welcome back. Episode 25. Here with Carter on the day after the first round of the NBA draft, in which our Atlanta Falcons selected Asa Newell from the University of Georgia. What a night.
Dude. Also, by the way, you said Atlanta Falcons, Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, whatever.
but
Oh,
but dude, like, I what I'm feeling right now is that LeBron meme where he's in the pool and he's just going like this. He's like, I just can't believe this is my life, dude. Like, we haven't seen in our lifetime not one but two of our pro pro teams, favorite teams, draft highly touted UGA players, and it's crazy, man. I still can't believe it. I cannot believe that he fell that low.
I can't either. I thought we were going to take him at 13. I thought there was at least a chance, but Onsi Sala, is that his name?
Yeah, it's either like Onsai or Onsi. I don't know.
Onsai?
We're probably butchering his name, but
Regardless, dude is cooking. Bro's had the job for like a week and a half. He was like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and build an Eastern Conference title contender. So, yeah, we traded down with the Pelicans from 13 to 23, picked up an unprotected first round pick for next year, which will be the best pick out of the Pelicans or the Bucks pick next year. So, a pretty highly likely lottery pick for sure. I mean, lottery pick guaranteed, but very good potential for that to be a top five, if not even better pick because the Pelicans suck and the Bucks are going to be without Dame Lillard and potentially Giannis if he leaves.
yeah, should be interesting. When I saw that trade down, I was like okay, and then I saw like the pick, I was like, oh, I I want to give a huge shout out to the Pelicans franchise for single-handedly reviving the Hawks. Uh, well, first of all, they gave us the Defensive Player of the Year, Dyson Daniels for Murray, and they gave us the 25 million that we can use on a player, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But
Yeah,
and now also they basically or when I guess the word I'd say is potentially, even though it's the Pelicans are bad, but it's gonna be unless something just catastrophic happens and the Pelicans are somehow good, it's gonna be a lottery pick, which is crazy. And next year's draft is supposed to be even deeper than this one, so a lot of good prospects coming out in next year's draft. So cannot give Salah even more kudos for fleecing the Pelicans again. I don't know I don't know what they're doing, dude. I don't know why you would trade your pick swap obviously, and then you're trading away basically a lottery pick to move up 10 spots, which is it. I don't know, but shout out the Pelicans. Crazy, man.
yeah,
Cannot believe that they actually gave the Hawks a basically a lottery pick for next year. And I guess you could say like a flat draft. You had a Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, dude from Baylor Edgecombe, I think, and then it's kind of just like flattened a little bit. But I cannot believe that the Pelicans did that. Cannot believe it.
yeah, I can't either. That was one of the better fleeces of the draft. I mean, we got a guy that we really liked at 13, 10 picks later at 23. So you can make an argument that we still got our guy, hometown kid, obviously went to UGA. So we could not be happier as fans of both teams. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it fills a position of need too. I mean, not necessarily, but he's going to be great depth coming off the bench. 6'11", extremely athletic big man who has improved a lot on his shot, on his three-point shooting. I mean, watching Asa Newell this year, it was a pleasure. He brought Georgia basketball back to the tournament for the first time since like what, 2015, I think? It was like 10
2015.
years. Yeah. So, if he's able to do that for us, I mean, just come up off the bench, give us some good minutes, really big, adding more size to the roster, which we have another topic about that we're about to get to. But the Hawks are no longer going to be one of the shortest three teams in the NBA, which we seemingly have been for the entire time I've been a Hawks fan. We never have size, which is crazy, but that kind of leads into this topic. Tingus Pingus. We got Tingus Pingus as well.
Unicorn.
Unicorn. Kristaps Porzingis. Hopefully he doesn't have AIDS, because that would that would be the only really bad part. Dealing with a long drawn out illness during this past year's playoffs and toward the end of the regular season. So really hope he's okay. But we gave up, what did we give up? A second round draft pick and then 22, I think.
So the trade for Porzingis, it was actually a three-team trade. So for we traded Niang second rounder, I think, to the Celtics, and then we traded Terrence Mann, which he had a really big contract that we came off of, and then we traded away the 22nd pick
Yeah,
in the draft, which um the the
the Nets
Nets,
got.
yeah, they got Drake Powell from UNC. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm not as familiar with, or I'm not more like knowledgeable in basketball prospects than football. So I mean, Drake Powell, I mean, I'm assuming that he'll be decent. From UNC, guard 6'5", so I mean, sure. But
Yeah,
um I was looking at NBA Twitter last night, and the Nets had five first round picks, and a lot of people were like, "Damn, first team ever to go 0-5,"
yeah.
and then all their
I was
picks.
just about to bring that up. I was like, if there was a clear loser from the draft, how does it end up being the team with five first round picks? But a general consensus from what I've seen as well is like the Nets went 0 for 5 on picks. Like if they hit on one of them, it was probably going to be that guy from North Carolina you were just talking about. But they took a bunch of European players that we had never heard of. So, and then Danny Wolf, I think.
Yeah, I think Danny Wolf. If I had to like grade like their picks, I would say probably Danny Wolf is probably their best pick besides Igor Demin from BYU. Those are probably my two favorite picks, and then to be honest with you, I really don't know much about, you know, um, what's his name? Nolan. I don't know how to say his name, from France.
Traore or whatever it is.
Yeah, Drake Powell, and then Ben Saraf, guard from Israel. So I don't really know, but Danny Wolf,
Yeah,
and then dude from BYU. I think those would be solid, um, but yeah, the argument that the Nets went 0-5 is is pretty damn funny.
it was pretty funny. It's like, how do you have five first round picks to begin with? I guess we were part of the problem there. We did give them one, but yeah, I thought the draft last night in general was pretty interesting. I hate how they do the hats and nobody wears like the right hat if they got traded, because it seemed like there was really no trades 1 through 10, and then just about everyone from 10 on was traded except for number 28. There was a trade every single pick from 10 to 30 except for number 12 and number 28. So everyone was just walking around with the wrong hat. As a unbiased viewer, it was confusing as hell. But whenever we drafted Asa Newell, it was like the Pelicans select Asa Newell. So I was like, I'm pretty sure we just got that. But then I know there was confusion between it being 22 and 23 because it had the Hawks logo picking at 22 and the Hawks logo picking at 13 as well. So, I mean, I was watching Scott Van Pelt for a little bit after that. He was like, you guys are way too smart to do this every year. Like, it is a multi-bazillion dollar business. How do you have people going up there with the wrong hats? Like,
Yeah, I think the main reason is that these trades can't be finalized until the new league year, which I think it's in a week or two. But
Fix
I
it.
I agree. It's
Fix
so
it.
confusing. Like we'll always get that cursed image of Luca wearing a Hawks hat, and then now with Ace and Newell wearing a Pelicans hat, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
the way the NBA does the draft, it makes things more complicated because like you said, like basically like the Hawks literally drafted for the Pelicans when they traded down. I'm pretty sure that the Pelicans probably called the Hawks and said, "Hey, pick Derek Queen for us," and then
Oh yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm not a fan of how they do it just because I it's real confusing. Um, but yeah, I think that's something that they need to fix. Just for the average viewer to be like, oh yeah, like Ace Newell's going to the Pelicans. No, actually he's going to Atlanta. So it's
Yeah.
confusing for the casual viewer.
It was definitely confusing just sitting here. I mean, I'm trying to play the game and pay attention to the draft at the same time. I keep looking over. I'm like, what? Like, are we sure? Like, I texted you. I was like, are we sure? Like, did that just happen? Like, he's going to the Hawks, right? Please. But yeah, definitely thinks like seems like we got our guy. 6'9", 224 pounds, 6'11" wingspan. He's a true freshman last year, so he's literally 18 years old. Just about as much development as you could possibly have in a prospect. So, as a Hawks fan, I am extremely, extremely happy. Who are some other picks that you liked besides Cooper
um,
Flag?
I will say I think there's if I had to pick some winners of the draft, I would say the Spurs, the Jazz, and then I would probably say the Hawks. I
Yep.
think I liked what the Jazz did with Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant. Those two guys are really gonna help the Spurs. Carter Bryant, he's 6'7" forward. Um, he can play pretty good defense. He's a good wing guy, so I think that'll help him. And then Dylan Harper, I don't really have to explain much. He was really good last year for Rutgers. Man, if you're a Spurs fan, I'm stoked for the future of their team because
Yeah.
you got Wemby, you got Stephon Castle, you have Dylan Harper, you have Carter Bryant, you have De'Aaron Fox. You have a lot of good talent on that team. So
Yeah.
you know, everybody thought that the Spurs died when their old dynasty ended. They were gonna start a new one here, and they're gonna rival OKC, man. In a few years,
Yeah.
they're gonna be really good.
I think so
And
too.
then Utah. I mean, there's a lot of controversy about Ace Bailey coming to the draft. But I really liked what they did with him, and they drafted Walter Clayton. So the Wizards traded the rights for Walter Clayton to the Jazz, which the Jazz really needed a good scoring point guard. So I really liked those two picks. Ace Bailey, I mean, besides the controversy, he's a really good player. He's going to help the Jazz out a lot with his shot creating. Same with Walter Clayton. So I liked what the Jazz did. I liked what the Spurs did. And then obviously bias pick, I like what the Hawks did. So those are my three winners from last
Yeah.
night.
If it weren't for getting absolutely fleeced by our guy Onsai, whatever his name is, I like the picks that the Pelicans made. I think Derek Queen's going to be really good. Pretty shortly off rip. I mean, he's super young too. He's high school teammates with everyone, with Cooper Flag, Asa Newell. Who else?
There's
It
one more
was
dude I forgot
Cooper
who
Flag,
it is.
Asa Newell.
Who's
Someone
on the
took
um I know who you're talking about. I can't
Ian
think of the name.
McNeely. Was he there too? I know it was
Uh,
someone towards the end, or was it Danny? No,
I have no idea. But I know who you're talking about. I
they
just
all
can't
played on
I
that
can't
that
remember.
Montverde Academy.
It's just dude, that's insane. That roster was just crazy.
Yeah, but I think if it weren't for the Pelicans, must think that they're going to be really good next year because that's the only reason why they would have given us their pick. But I like the prospects in both Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears. Jeremiah Fears gave the entire SEC hell for a year. I mean, just being able to create shots off the dribble, super, super athletic, super fun to watch. And another player that I remember just giving us absolute hell last year was Trey Johnson from Texas. He was like the only good player on a relatively bad Texas team and had them essentially on the bubble for most of the year. It's just a super athlete and an insane 3-point shooter. It's really fun to watch. Other than that, I mean, this has definitely been a draft where I know a lot more of these prospects than usual because Georgia was actually halfway decent this year, so I paid more attention to college basketball. But still, like all the players from overseas, I'm like, I guess we'll see. We'll figure it out one way or another if they're good. But yeah, that's pretty much
Um,
it.
let's say one note that I completely forgot about the Pelicans. DeJounte Murray will be out most of, if not the whole year next year, because I'm pretty sure he ruptured his Achilles too.
His Achilles. Yep.
And then the Pelicans just traded C.J. McCollum for Jordan Poole, which I'm not a Jordan Poole guy, so I,
He's
they
not.
they're primed to be pretty awful next year. So hate watching two New Orleans teams is going to be fun this year with the Saints and the
Yeah.
Pelicans.
Always hate watching the Saints. I mean, especially with the being a division rival. But yeah, they're in the West too. The West is absolutely loaded. Like if they were in the East, I could see something happening where they squeak out and make like the play-in tournament or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The Phoenix Suns roster composition is five shooting guards and five centers. They drafted Kaman Malawach last night, who I think is going to be pretty solid too. I kind of wanted the Hawks to get him, but we had our sights on someone else. So,
We got him.
yep,
We got him on crazy value too, man. 20,
yeah,
23rd overall pick. I thought he was going to go at least top 15.
yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, if we would have taken him at 13 and then traded away 22 or drafted someone else there, I would have been like, I think we cooked regardless. But
yeah, yeah. Because what that trade told me is that the Hawks were definitely going to pick Asa at 13, but they kind of figured that he was going to drop a little bit, and they pretty much did what the Falcons did with James Pierce, where they traded back into the draft and kind of hoped that he fell to him, and both guys fell to the Falcons with James Pierce, and now the Hawks with Asa Newell. So it's good to have some good fortune in the draft because Lord knows our teams cannot draft for shit.
yeah,
Especially the Falcons, but and the Hawks
changes out
too.
Onsai and Terry Fortnite. Don't let Terry get hot. Don't let Terry Fortnite get hot.
Maybe it was enough Georgia fans like us bitching on Twitter to pick Georgia players. They finally
Yeah,
they finally got the memo across that came across their desk. So
I mean, anyone left on the board that you're looking forward to seeing tonight? There's a couple that I'm seeing here.
so the Hawks don't have a second round pick because I'm pretty sure they traded away for the Porzingis deal. But
Yeah,
if they were to trade back up, Rasheer Fleming is a dude who I would want, but I think he's gonna go probably somewhere in the top five of the second round.
yeah,
Um, Second round, and me personally, I don't know how you feel, but second round players in NBA, they're really hard to hit on. So, I mean, I wouldn't care less if the Hawks just basically just called it the draft and didn't attempt to move back up. So, I mean, we're both perfectly happy what happened last night. I don't really think that there's a need to trade back up into the
no,
draft. So, I think now the focus is adding more players and getting more bench help.
yeah,
I think the starting five is pretty much set now.
yeah. I agree. I'd be interested to see where good old Ryan Kalkbrenner goes tonight.
And yeah,
Big old guy.
that was a dude that if the Hawks had their second round pick, that was probably a dude that I would have liked them to get if they didn't trade for Porzingis. So
Yep.
it should be interesting where he's gonna go. And then there's actually a decent amount of good players
Yeah.
still available.
Adu Thiero was good. Chaz Lanier was really good. They're all
Yeah,
relatively
some
high toward the top, and Rasheer Fleming as well.
some scrub ass from Auburn named Janai Broom.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see him. He's
Yeah,
like
well,
82 years old. He's gonna have like a 30
bum.
second long prime in the NBA.
Caleb Love's still here. Grant Nelson, Mark Sears, Ryan Nimhard, brother of Andrew Nimhard. Um, uh, Sean Padua from Ole Miss. Miles Kelly from Auburn, good sharpshooter. R.J. Davis.
Mark Sears will be interesting because he's so tiny, but
Yeah,
he
no,
made a lot of threes.
yeah. It's the Kai Ziegler who, for some reason, still wants to play college ball when he needs to get a job. He's
He's
still there.
definitely not gonna get drafted.
No. Tyrese Proctor's still here. Cam Jones from Marquette. Um,
RJ
uh,
Davis.
Golden from Michigan. Yeah, there's still a decent amount of good players on here. So, um, I would definitely say without a doubt this year's draft was a lot more deep than last year's.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so should be interesting where all these guys go. There's still a lot of good talent on the board
Can't
still.
some of these guys, like obviously if they still have eligibility, if they don't get drafted, can they still go back to college?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not really sure how basketball works with that. That or they just become, free agents, and then how any normal team will do, like what the Falcons did, like undrafted free agents.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that'll be interesting. There's definitely a good amount of people here that we know we know far too well from playing in the SEC. But yeah, I was very, very happy with what happened last night in the draft.
Me
Ace
too, man.
Bailey, Ace Bailey learned how to speak Mormon. He's like, I
Yeah,
want
man.
to be taken.
I called it too when we were talking about it. I was like, dude, watch. Ace Bailey's gonna slip right to the Jazz. I'm telling you right now. And then poor Con Knipple, he basically just got shipped off to basketball hell with the Hornets. And I mean, Ace Bailey did the same too. Bro didn't want to play for the 76ers and got shipped off to Utah where there's nothing besides mountains. So, have fun, buddy.
Mountains and Mormons.
And then Colin Murray Boyles definitely did not want to be drafted by the
No.
Raptors.
That was so funny. His girlfriend's super hot though. That was cool. I was
Dude,
like,
you
damn.
want to talk about hot? Dylan Harper's mom.
Dylan Harper's mom.
I saw so many memes about that on Twitter last night. I was
Yes,
cracking up.
yes, I did too. That was so funny.
You want me to
Like Colin
transition and
Murray Boyles was pissed, dude. It was so funny. The camera pans over to me.
I mean, in his defense, I wouldn't want to play in in Canada either.
I mean, who wants? It's like, oh, you've been in the United States for your whole life. Now you have to go to Canada, buddy.
Yeah, from South Carolina all the way damn across the country up
Yeah,
up north.
yeah, that's terrible. Any other takeaways?
That's it for me.
All right. So, going into some Georgia football recruiting news, yesterday we got the commitment of Colquitt County running back Jay Lamar, which is awesome. He's a four-star speedster South Georgia guy. He clearly wants to be a Georgia Bulldog. He was bawling his eyes out during the commitment video, and his entire family, the entire city of Moultrie, Georgia, was there. So we talked about that one on Monday. So glad that one was able to come true. And then we have four-star wide receiver from Cambridge today, Craig Dandridge. Dandridge from Cambridge. So that one will be good.
Ryman.
I am highly expecting that one to be a Georgia Bulldog as well. I'd say like 90 to 95%. And then two more prospects tomorrow, potentially. They're both like 50-50 maybes slash like going toward like 60-40 on the no side. Malachi Lee has apparently been prioritized by Michigan as one of their top dollar prospects. So it's either going to be Michigan or Georgia for that one. And then safety Chase Calicut will be 60-40, probably not going to happen, leaning towards Texas. He is from Houston, so that kind of makes sense, but there are several other guys that Georgia will be trending for, including PJ Dean, who commits on Monday, and then either next week or the week after is James Johnson, Caden Prothro, Tyler Atkinson, and Derek Cooper. So those last three are all 5 stars. Chase Calicut's a 5 star. Everyone else is a relatively high rated 4 star. So Kirby's back on the walk. He's in there cooking. So that would
And
really be huge if we were able to do that.
yeah, that man takes zero time off in recruiting. He recruits basically 365 days a year. So
Yep.
he's I think Georgia's going to go on a huge barn burner here with all these guys committing soon. So
Yeah.
Jay Lamar was pretty cool yesterday. I was watching his commitment video, and that dude.
Yep.
I already know that dude's gonna give it his all when he comes here. So I'm really excited for him. Um, and you sent me a tape of Chase Cowcut. I need I need that man in a Georgia jersey now. But
Um,
I don't really think so. I think he's gonna go to Texas. Sadly, I mean
Most likely.
I can't blame the kid if he does. I mean, from Texas, so. But
Yeah.
um, but yeah, Kirby's on a huge bender right now on the recruiting trail. So I'm happy to see what happens. So
Yeah, dude. Me too. I got the class pulled up here. We also just throw that in there. Number one kicker and number one punter as well. Both committed. Haran Zurikat and Wade Register. The cash money cash register.
Wade
It's the kicker
register.
and the punter. Yeah, that's Jay Lamar definitely highlights the class as the I think he is the 11th ranked running back in the country. We could add on to that with Derek Cooper, who I think is the third ranked running back in the country. He is a consensus 5 star, super freak athlete, but Jay Lamar is definitely that he's got a lot of James Cook in him,
Hmm.
like comparisons. Super burner, like very fast. And the funny thing about him is Colquitt had two senior running backs last year, so he didn't really get too much run. So he doesn't even have that much film, but I would not be surprised if he ends his recruitment closer to that 5 star range than what he is now. Just getting more film out there is going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, should be interesting. It's funny when I was watching a little bit of his tape, I immediately thought James Cook
Yeah.
for Jay Lamar. It's
Yep.
literally carbon copy of James Cook, so that'll be awesome to add a James Cook type guy. And you know
Really
what's
good out in the
fun?
backfield,
Yeah,
catching passes, all that.
yeah. You know what's funny too? I got really bored yesterday before for the draft, and I was watching highlights of the I think it was 2023 Georgia Tennessee game where we just put right to him
Yep.
with Stetson there, and James Cook had over like 150 all-purpose yards or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it'll be awesome to have that type of top running back again.
Yeah, absolutely. I got our recruiting class pulled up right here. We started the month of June, I think. We were ranked like 14th or 15th. We are up all the way to 4. And I do believe if we get Craig Dandridge today, we would move up to number 3 because we're right there. We're like less than 1 percentage point, however they do the point system. We're right behind Notre Dame, and then we're very close to Texas A&M too, who have the third and second overall classes. So by this time next week, we'll probably have the second overall class in the country, which is just right where it's supposed to be. We got 21 commits right now. We should finish around the ballpark of like 27, 28. I feel like we usually do. Makes room for about 6 or 7 more transfers that we had already brought in. So I'm very, very excited to see where we end up.
Yeah. So I wanted to shift gears a little bit. So I just pulled up Twitter real quick and found this really interesting article about, you know, we spoke about this in a few episodes ago, but the possibility of Atlanta getting another hockey team again.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, like our viewers, Vernon Krause is basically the dude who's behind all this with his ownership group, and I don't know if you follow this Twitter account, NHL to Atlanta. He posted this tweet to where Vernon Krause spoke on a podcast about like basically his vision for an NHL team, and so I just wanted to give a few short pointers. Is that
Yeah.
um they the ownership group is expecting a definite answer by the end of a year with a planned 2028-29 puck drop for the new franchise. So I would imagine probably sometime in December is when, you know, it's either going to be a yes or no answer for a new team.
Yeah.
Um, Something interesting I just saw here. Vernon Krause is aiming to get UGA, Georgia Tech, and KSU into NCAA Division One hockey within 5 years of the 2028-29 season. Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so along with the planned practice facility for the team, Vernon Krause and his group are expecting to build 2 to 3 rinks in addition to the practice facility. And then one last thing that I thought was interesting is that Krause intends this team to use the Georgia identity in lieu of the previously used Atlanta identity. So it's going to be like Georgia something. So that's interesting that they would do that. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. So it's gonna be weird if they do get a franchise calling it, the Georgia Thrashers or Georgia Peaches, whatever the name is,
Georgia
instead of.
peaches.
So I don't. I just came up with something on the spot.
I like that.
Um, but yeah, so it's gonna be weird. Not saying Atlanta this. It's gonna be Georgia this. Um, and then one more thing that I just read that Gary Bettman, who is the commissioner of the NHL, he stated that the interested parties have been notified what the price is of an expansion team, which
Mm-hmm.
the rumors are right now. The rumor price is almost around $2 billion for a expansion team, which is pretty damn hefty price. But I don't. Money's not going to be an issue. It's just going to be like if it's the right place, right time. So I thought that was interesting. I thought I'd share.
Yeah. I like the Georgia peaches. That would be funny.
uh, I really don't know what you would name the team besides, Thrashers.
You could just take Gwinnett, the Georgia Gladiators. That's
Yeah, could do that, but I mean, I don't know how copyright does with that stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I think it makes more
Um,
sense because the rink is literally nowhere near Atlanta. Like it would be
yeah, but I mean,
like it's a
you could also.
stretch calling the Braves the Atlanta Braves because they're the Cobb County Braves.
I was you read my mind. I was literally about to bring up that
Yeah,
the Braves are probably like what 30, 40 minutes outside of Atlanta, and they're still called the Atlanta Braves instead of like
exactly. And
Cobb
then
County or Georgia Braves.
the hockey team's gonna be like 45 minutes farther outside of Atlanta than the Cobb County Braves. So, I mean, they're
Yeah,
like, it would be an hour and a half plus if you're trying to go to downtown.
yeah. I will say though, I am definitely gonna miss not calling, or I'm gonna miss not calling a pro sports team like Atlanta something. I don't know. I just feel like that's just more of like a college thing. But
Yeah,
I understand why. It's because like they don't want people to be like, oh, like Atlanta a third time. Like, why are you renaming them the Atlanta like Thrashers or whatever again? Like, I
yeah,
get it, but it's just I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but. I mean, even the thought of, getting a team is very exciting. So we
yeah,
shall see what the verdict is. Which, like I said, I think it will probably be sometime anywhere end of November, probably beginning of December this year. Is when we will know if we get another hockey team.
yeah. That'll be something for sure. I'm still on the fence about it, but it'll be cool. I just
Yeah.
saw on I just saw on Twitter Derek Queen changed his LinkedIn profile. He said, "I have just started a new job as a professional basketball player for the New Orleans Pelicans."
Um.
I thought that was so funny. It was some Barstool Sports post. It was like NBA contracts are temporary. Your network lasts forever. It's like, dude, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Um, I did see that for baseball fans, Bobby Witt just committed to the WBC for next year.
Oh, that's good for America, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I mean, come on, Bobby's not a foreign name.
Bobby Witt Jr., captain of the Venezuela baseball team.
I'm the captain this year or next year's Judge. I'm pretty sure it's not Trout anymore. I think now
Check that.
it's Judge.
Trout's falling off.
Yeah.
You
Um.
want to talk about the Braves a little bit? We're right in the middle of a Mets series. We won two out
Yeah.
of three so far, and we're playing tonight.
Yeah. I'd be down to talk about the Braves because they really haven't pissed me off all that much. So.
Last night
Yeah,
wasn't great, but I didn't watch.
yeah. I mean, I kind of figured the Braves were going to lose last night with Fuentes on the mound. I mean, he's just not ready yet. But I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. If I were the Braves, I mean, now they're gonna have to trade for a back end starter because I would imagine Chris Hill probably won't come back until like mid to late August is what I'm assuming. So
Yeah.
he's gonna need time for that rib cage to heal up. So um I think for the time being, I think the Braves should at least give Hurston Waldrop some some time. Fuentes isn't ready yet, and Waldrop's been in AAA for over a year, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it can't hurt. I mean, you're not it. It can't hurt to try at least, because I said Fuentes has some good stuff. He throws way too many, strikes is basically like the terminology. So he got lit up last night, but
Yeah, they
um
had 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3.1 innings pitched. Bullpen came in and shoved for the most part. But yeah, we were down 7 by then.
yeah, I mean, again, I figured that the Braves were gonna lose last night, but I think they should win tonight with Grant Holmes on the mound. Grant Holmes has been pitching pretty solid. Um, then the Mets have Griffin Canning on the mound, which I think he is very fraudulent. So I think the Braves should win. If you're a gambler, the money line is basically even for both teams right now, and the Braves are favored by or their run. I guess the run lead is -1.5 for the Braves. So if you are a gambler, those are your odds tonight. Um, but yeah, I think Braves should win tonight, and then they have a 3-game series this weekend against the Phillies. So
Yeah.
Braves are missing. I'm pretty sure they're missing Zach Wheeler, but they're still facing Ranger Suarez. So they need to take advantage of not seeing Wheeler, who owns them every single time he pitches against us. Um, so yeah. Um, Elder versus Mick Abel on Friday. That's pretty much a toss up. Schwallenbach versus Luzardo, who Luzardo's been getting hit pretty good his last few starts. And then Sunday, it's Strider versus Ranger, so that should be a decent pitching matchup. So I think the Braves need to win tonight. They can't afford to, split with the Mets.
Yeah.
And then they need to at least take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies this weekend. And I'd be feeling really, really pretty damn good going almost in the All Star break to where the Braves were probably a couple weeks ago to now where
Yeah.
they are. They just need to play the Mets, man. they every
Yes.
every yeah, every team in baseball has a get right team, and the Mets are the Braves get right team. So excited for tonight. Hopefully, offense shows up. I mean, I can't really say that the offense failed. I mean, I think it's just lack of pitching that failed them last night.
Yeah.
Their Fuentes is, like I said, he's not ready yet. So, kind of figured they would lose last night, but I think hopefully they should win tonight. And then, obviously, got that big 3-game set against the Phillies.
Yeah. Is there anyone else that we could call up besides Hurst and Waldrop? Is there like another option that I'm not remembering? I feel like he's
Um,
probably a better option. But this Didier guy just came out of the middle of nowhere. I was like, who are you?
I I mean, I don't know how many um I guess like options, but I guess you could call up Ian Anderson again, but I don't know if he
Is he,
has
he's
to
still
like
on the team?
yeah, they released him and then they signed him back to AAA. But I don't know how many options he has left because I don't like for those of you who aren't familiar with options, so the last time that like a player can be optioned, he has to stay on the 26-man roster, or else he clearly can't go to AAA. So I'm pretty sure that's the reason why Michael Harris hasn't been sent down yet. Is I'm pretty sure he's out of options, so that's why he won't like go down. Um, yeah, just looking at Braves prospects, I damn, this is a terrible farm system.
Yeah.
I guess you could call up Hayden Harris, who's a left-handed pitcher, but I think he's more of a bullpen guy. Um, our top prospect Cam Caminiti, he's in A ball right now, so
Yeah.
obviously that's a no. Um, Hurston Waldrip, he should be called up, and I think Nacho Alvarez should be called up. I mean,
Yeah, I do too.
I love Nick Allen. I mean, his defense is good, but he swings just a pool noodle. Other than the three
Yeah.
hit game he had 2 nights ago. Um, and
Michael
honestly,
Harris, I know you're talking about that. He's so bad, dude.
I also wouldn't be opposed for the Braves to call up Carlos Rodriguez from AAA. To replace or I wouldn't say replace, but you know, uh, get Alex Verdugo out of the lineup. Um, Now I can fully see why the Yankees fans hated him. I think he's garbage, so I really don't want him in the lineup anymore. I would much rather have Eli White out there for speed because dude, Verdugo is so damn slow. Like it's so bad. But
He's just not good.
no, he still doesn't have a homer this year somehow. It's
How?
I have no idea, dude.
It's like
But
it's not like he's a little guy either.
no, he's big.
Yeah.
He's I mean, he's not as like big as Ozuna, but I mean he's pretty big. But
Yeah.
um, I don't know, but yeah, Braves have a very 4 important games, and then the schedule kind of lightens up until the All Star break with Angels, Orioles, A's, and then the Cardinals. Um, I would love to go 4-0 in these next four games, or even just 3-1. Um, so that would be huge. So they really gotta put their foot on the pedal for these next four games and make things at least interesting. Because right now I'm pretty sure the Braves are either 9.5 back or 10 back from last
In the
night.
division?
Yeah,
Yeah, sounds right. I think we're like
because the Phillies
five
lost
and a half
last
or
night.
six out of the wild card, right?
Yeah, Phillies lost last night, so I'm pretty sure it's 10. Um, Let me look. I don't want to give y'all anybody wrong information. Yeah, 9.5. So 9.5 out of first. The Mets are half a game out of first. So I mean, is it crazy for me to say that the Braves still somehow have a chance to win the division?
Yeah, we
Nine and a
do.
half back, and it's still not even the All Star game. It's doable. I mean, we've seen this team come back from 10 games back and beat the Mets and win the division. So
Yeah.
it's not impossible. Um, it's crazy to think that the Braves have gained what 5, 6 games in the division because I'm pretty sure at one time the lead was 15 games on the Braves. So
Yeah.
it's I mean even even them being in this spot right now, it's pretty insane for how bad that they started off in the beginning of the year. Um, but yeah, they if they really want to make some serious noise, they need to at least go 3-1 in these next games, and I will feel pretty good. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, with how this season's gone, I wouldn't be surprised if we went three in one of these next three games and then got swept by the Orioles. For some reason, it's like I don't even know if it's necessarily like playing up or playing down to your competition, but we lose to all the bad teams, like the Marlins and the Rockies. But it's
yes.
like, hey, give us 10 games with the Mets and we'll go 9-1. Just okay.
I will say the Phillies, Angels, and Orioles series are all in Atlanta, which is huge because the Braves have a really good home record this year.
That is
They've been
nice.
they've been pretty abysmal on the road unless the team name is not the New York Mets. They've been pretty abysmal on the road,
Yeah.
so yeah, should
What
be
do you think
interesting.
about what do you think about Acuna in the home run derby?
Um, See, people, I don't know if people like or trying to think like the right way to say this, but you know how like people will say that players who enter the home run derby usually slump after the All Star game because they change their batting stances. I don't think Acuna is going to be that guy because I just don't think so. He's too locked in at the plate to
Yeah.
to go in a big slump, even though he's kind of due for one because he's been off to such a just a insane start coming back from injury. Um, I would have liked to see Matt Olson do it, but Acuna is still just as fun. So that makes the home run derby more interesting to watch, in my opinion,
Oh yeah, definitely. I will
especially
actually
in Atlanta.
yeah, usually watch regardless, but still. He should be an all-star as well. I know he's creeping up there in the voting, as is Matt
Yes,
Olson, but that sucks. Sale getting hurt. I feel like he was almost surefire to get in there. But then
yeah,
Schwellenbach's still a maybe. I feel like we might get somewhat of a hometown bump since it is at Truist Park. Like maybe just like, all right, sneak this one guy in there.
yeah. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Matt Olson makes All Star team. He should. I think he's one of, if not the best first baseman in baseball right now. Just been on a huge hot streak and playing just out of his mind defensively. He's statistic wise the best defensive shortstop, first baseman in baseball right now. Guess you can make an argument for Josh Naylor. He's having a pretty good year with Arizona. Um, but unless I'm just forgetting somebody, I can't really think. I mean, Pete Alonso's having a decent year, but I I mean, power wise, I mean, Alonso's not really as good of a defensive player as Olsen has been this year.
Yeah.
Um,
He's
but I
also
will.
just a goober. I hate Pete Alonso. The looking at him genuinely pisses me off.
Yeah, Florida guy and on the Braves rival. Yeah, it's really easy to hate him.
Yeah. That's
Um,
like worst of the worst territory.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the All Star game. MLB All Star game is hands down the best in pro sports. NBA is a joke, and the NFL is a flag football game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really hard to like fake anything in baseball. So um it's the best, and that's actually an All Star game that I actually look forward to watching because it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Players actually caring about the game and actually putting effort. Um, so yeah, I'm excited, especially this year. It's going to be in Atlanta. I wish I had tickets, but I am not paying for how much that they're charging this year. I think it's for the home run derby. I think it's pretty. I'm pretty sure the last time I checked, it was over like $300. I'm like, nah. And then All Star game. Actually,
What?
I want to fact check this real quick. I just
Oh
want to
my
make.
God.
I just want to make sure I'm not like talking out of my ass. But um, home run derby. Okay, it's the cheapest ticket right now on SeatGeek is two. It's wait. Oh no, this is standing room only. So standing room only, it's $220, and then the next lowest ticket is $800 for a home run derby.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Um.
That's
No,
wild.
actually, I'm wrong again. The cheapest is like 300, but still, it's expensive.
Yeah.
And then All Star Game, it's over like $400, so I'm good. I'll just watch at home,
Yeah.
or just go chill at the Battery,
Yeah. That too.
even though it's
That'd be
gonna be.
cool.
It'll,
All the other fans get to come to Atlanta and experience the Battery. See how sick
yeah,
it is. Like, yeah, we got it pretty good over here.
yeah, the best pregame. What's it called? The entertainment district in
Atmosphere,
sports.
entertainment. Yeah.
Uh, Texas does it right. St. Louis does it right. As much as I hate Philadelphia, they do it best with what they have. A lot of teams do it right with the entertainment district, so
Yeah.
um, should be cool. Um,
Yeah, when is it? It's like the is it
it's
July,
middle.
second week in July?
Yeah, it's like middle of July. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember the date, but
Yeah.
that's also when the MLB draft is, which I have no clue why the MLB draft is right near the All Star game. So if if the Braves if the Braves want to complete the trifecta, they should draft
Trey
Slade
Phelps.
Alford. Slade
Trey
Alford.
Phelps. Nope. Trey Phelps.
Okay,
Slade
Trey
Alford is
Phelps.
not a first round draft pick.
Well, I mean like later picks
That would be cool. Trey Phelps will be
or
on the board and
Zebo
available right around where we're picking in the first round.
or Zabo.
Yeah, I don't know. My baseball guy says that the only real good pro prospect we had on our team last year was Trey Phelps. So,
Yeah, Trey Phelps would be cool though.
yeah. I mean, dude, the trifecta, that would be sick.
You know, one more funny thing I wanted to add before we end. I just saw this headline on ESPN. The Nets use four of historic five first round picks on guards. So they basically are like hoping one of them hits out of four picks, and none of them are. Well, I wouldn't say that, but four picks on guards is crazy.
That's
It's
bad.
like what the Browns did, drafting Dylan Gabriel, Shador, and then Dylan Sampson and Quinshon Judkins. There's hoping that one of them sticks.
Yeah, it's like you got to get one out of those, like 4 or 5 different guys, and then it's like, oh, we're gonna sign Joe Flacco and trade for Kenny Pickett as well.
Yeah,
So
they're just throwing stuff at the wall and hope it sticks.
literally, yeah, it's a wild draft strategy, but it is a draft strategy for sure. It's not one that
Um,
good teams use.
for our soccer viewers, I just saw this. Cristiano Ronaldo has signed a new 2-year extension to extend his stay in the Saudi Pro League. So that is for our soccer viewers, which I am very much not a soccer guy, but
Yeah, he's a bag chaser. He's
for Al Nasser.
that's no better than live golf.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can't really say much about Liv. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean they get money from people who like kill women for showing their face in public, which is just like crazy. It's crazy to me to even comprehend
Yeah,
why
I don't
those
know.
people did it.
I have a different opinion on Liv, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, we'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
Other than that, you got anything else? I think we're good here.
Um, I guess one piece, I guess a trade that can't speak. That we really didn't talk about is the Suns acquired a Mark Williams, last night, which is Phoenix Suns, Charlotte the Hornets old center. Um,
And then they drafted a center at pick 10.
yeah, dude from Duke. Um, But yeah, I really don't have anything else. Ace Newell is a Hawk. Porzingis is a Hawk. Hopefully, Nikhil Alexander Walker is a Hawk, and um, we will be a
Maybe
force to
Cam
reckon with.
Johnson.
Yeah, well, I don't know, cause I mean,
They
Ace
got to get
Newell's
rid of one of their guards. They got too many.
yeah, I don't know. I guess after the Ace Newell pick, I would imagine that's probably thrown out the door because he's Cam Johnson's more of a small forward. We just we're pretty we're good on forwards with
Yeah.
Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, now Ace Newell, and then I guess maybe you could put Porzingis at the four. I guess he could play a little bit of both. So I think the Hawks should go after Nikhil Alexander Walker from Minnesota, backup point
That would
guard,
be
because we
cool.
need one. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Backup point guard, defensive minded. I like that too. Can shoot a little bit. Definitely
yeah.
would be a good addition.
I've seen some Ben Simmons on the timeline, and I would just say,
Oh,
hell no, no, no,
no.
nope,
I've seen
nope,
it too.
nope,
Why?
nope.
Why are they saying that?
Because he's a bigger guy and he can pass the ball real well. Cool, man. He can't score. Trey
He's
Young,
like
Trey Young
allergic
single-handedly
to
destroyed that
basketball.
man's career. So,
Yeah.
no, nope, nope, nope.
Please no. Yeah, I'm not with that. That's going to be
Also,
it for us today. Episode
yep.
25 in the books. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week.